Hello, I'm Carla Clayton, your weight loss and wellness coach, and I want to thank you for joining me today for Tea Time with the Wellness Lady. I'm enjoying my wonderful afternoon cup of the Shaklee 180 Pomegranate Energy Tea. Really helps give me a boost. It makes me feel better. Today I'm excited to ask you a question. How many of you go to the store? Raise your hand. Right there in your room. Yep. Almost all of us go to the store, don't we? We have to buy things. But how many of us read food labels? And if we read them, do we even know what we're looking for? So for today, for tea time, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about food labels. Okay, so let's get started. This information comes from Dr. Sears' Lean program that he does. He's America's pediatrician. So this is a food label. This is what it looks like. So the good parts of the food label, the things we need to be looking for in foods, is we want to look for fiber. We need fiber in our diet, very good for digestion and moving toxins out of our body, keeping our cholesterol down. And also we need protein. We need half our body weight in grams of protein daily. And a child needs, if they're 50 pounds, they need 50 grams of protein a day. So that's a good little rule of thumb. So we want to look at that. And that is why I recommend the Shaklee 180 and the protein products, because it is so hard to get that much protein in our diet without, eating things that are unhealthy for us. So we've got the good. We know we want fiber. We know we want protein. These are really important. Let's talk about the bad. So we want to be watching out for the amount of sugar that we have in our ingredients. And we also want to look at fats. So besides this part of the food label, there's another part that's called the ingredient list. So I want to take some time right now and I want to tell you the bad. The bad things we need to stay away from. I'm just going to give you 3 because sure, there's lots of things we should probably stay away from. But these, according to Dr. Sears, if we'll just make these small changes, they can have a huge impact on your health and your children's health. So what are they? Number 1, high fructose corn syrup. See, we talked about sugar, but there is a difference between natural sugars, how your body receives and uses those, and these high fructose corn syrup, which is linked to diabetes and obesity and a number of other things. So 1, stay away from high fructose corn syrup. 2, we want to stay away from trans fats. I did a video about the trans fats, and the FDA recently came out and said that we've got to get these out of the foods by, they're giving us a couple of years to phase them out because they now know those are linked to heart disease and heart deaths. So stay away from the trans fats. This is where they've taken a fat and they've actually added another hydrogen atom, and it's created this new thing that when it gets in our body doesn't know how to receive it, and it actually elevates cholesterol and other things that we created these to avoid. So stay away from them. Those have different names. They're also called hydrogenated oils, things like that. Anything partially hydrogenated, you want to stay away from. Stay away from the trans fats. And here's a little trick about the trans fats. Even though on this part of the food label it says no trans fats, look on the back because there's a little loophole. If it's got 0.5, it can be on the front as having 0, but it will be listed in the ingredients. Those tricky little words, trans fats, partially hydrogenated. Okay? The third thing, and this is going to be a hard one, no artificial flavorings, colorings, or sweeteners. Now these have been linked to, they're like linked to neurotoxins. There's some serious research going on in this area right now. So I strongly encourage you, for your children, don't get them on these foods. And a lot of the foods marketed to children have all 3 of these ingredients in them. So take a look. I brought along some things, something you would think just so benign applesauce. This should be safe. Wonderful, original, great vitamin C. It's what it says on the front. But let's look on the back. And when we look at the ingredients, number 1, apples. Number 2, what do you think? High fructose corn syrup. Now you can find applesauce without high fructose corn syrup, I promise you. Peanut butter is another place where you're going to find those partially hydrogenated oils. So I brought along some. This one right here, roasted peanuts, sugar, palm oil, and salt. So there's no partially hydrogenated oils in here, but it's got sugar. They even make brands, and this is the brand I picked out because I didn't want sugar in mine, and it is just the ingredients, organic roasted peanuts. Period. That's it. So the fewer ingredients, the better. And again, just your old classic oatmeal. Look on the back. You know, 1 ingredient, rolled oats. That's what you want to be looking for, the most pure foods, so that you can keep your family healthy. I want to thank you for taking time out to learn a little more about food labels. We can go into this in more detail. If you want more info, put a little comment for me and let me know you want more details. We'll go deeper into each of these ingredients. But in the meantime, read your food labels. I'll see you soon for another tea time. Visit my website at wellnesslady.com.